world has been focusing on chemical weapons in Syria, trying to figure out who's used them against whom and who has stockpiles of them. But you know who definitely has stockpiles of them? The United States. We have 6 chemical weapon sites that remain open where our stockpiles of chemical weapons are being disposed. And according to officials, they leak. Chemical weapons have been an international no-no for a long time. At the 1899 Hague Convention, signers agreed to not use asphyxiating or deleterious gases. And in 1997, the Chemical Weapons Convention Treaty went into effect. It bans the creation and use of chemical weapons and mandates their destruction. Syria didn't sign that treaty, but the U.S. did. And yet, we still have 2,700 tons of chemical weapons in 2 of our storage facilities. There's one in Richmond, Kentucky, and one in Pueblo, Colorado. And according to Al Maroney, director of the United States Air Force Counterproliferation Center in Alabama, both of those sites have leakers in their stored chemical weapons. Crews at the Pueblo Chemical Depot in Colorado were recently alerted to a mustard gas leak inside of a storage structure that holds projectiles. 3 munitions were leaking the chemical weapon, which is funny, because on the CDC's website, they say the final mustard munition was destroyed in January of 2012. And at the storage depot in Richmond, Kentucky, officials have acknowledged that nerve gas leak monitors weren't working for years. Meanwhile, there are still chemical weapons stored at the facility. Mr. Maroney says the last chemical weapons site in the U.S. isn't even set to start disposal until 2020. He goes on to say that disposing of chemical weapons slowly and safely is extremely expensive and difficult. The U.S. is one of the few countries in the world who have any experience with it because they are one of the few countries in the world who defied the Hague Convention and created chemical weapons in the first place. So the question to ask our government now is, if we know chemical weapons are so awful, why the hell are we one of the only countries who have them? Maybe it's because we're also the only country that drops atomic bombs.